Awesome. Thanks for sticking with me, people. Our last section is all about how do we identify and grow and nurture a sourcer of talent. Probably the most important part of what we've been discussing today, in all honesty. So basically, sources are natural talent magnets, and they are excellent at building networks and communities. So you know that person that always knows someone. You need something, I know someone, I can get this sorted, I'll connect with them. They're also really good at referral placements because they make such good connections with candidates. So this is another way to identify a really good sourcer of talent, because they always arrive somewhere with a network and community at their fingertips. I think a lot of people would call them well connected, is the word that I'm looking for there. Now, the most important thing about a sourcer is that they're naturally curious about everything. So this is the individual who will live their life on Google. Someone will mention something at dinner or in a conversation, and as soon as the conversation ends and they're going back to their phone or their laptop, they are on Google and they are trying to figure out what the person was talking about, or Googling something which they didn't understand or they'd never heard of before. And with that natural curiosity should come someone who doesn't have a fear of breaking things. I found that talent sourcers are best when they are not scared of they're going to break the internet. So I always say, don't worry, your name's not Rolf, you're not going to break the internet. So, people who are just going to say, well, I'm going to try. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, then I've learned from it. So it's people who are naturally curious and aren't afraid to break something. Those people make really good sources of talent. Now, I might be biased in this one, but for me, you cannot just take someone out of a full 360 recruiting role or take a graduate fresh out of university and say, right, you're our dedicated talent sourcer, you're it, well done, go and find people, there's your laptop. So for me, it actually comes down to a lot of training, a lot of thinking about our mindset, about approaching candidates, where we're finding candidates, about cross-referencing candidates. And that is why I'm a firm believer that sources need to be trained. It's something that will come naturally to others, but training is actually just going to take them to the next level. So don't set up anyone for failure. You must invest in them. You must get them some training, because it's actually very different to a 360 recruiter role. I speak from experience. So sources are also people that they either need to do it or they already have done it, is that they need to break their dependency on job boards and LinkedIn. These people need to be looking when no one else is looking. So what you're aiming to do is you're aiming to get in touch with fresh talent. So talent that isn't suffering from recruiter fatigue already. And that is something that I refer to as, the candidates that are being hit up all the time by other recruiters. Find people on different candidates, find candidates on different platforms, should I say, and reach out to them when nobody else has seen them or heard of them, so that it's a fresh new start for them, not someone who's already dealing with 5 or 6 other recruiters. And that's what a sourcer should be doing, and they can do that again with training. Another thing is that sources need to practice. So it's definitely a role that will grow and develop with time. They will get better at writing Boolean. The more Boolean they write, the better. The more time they spend on the internet and they have that dedicated time to talent source, the more platforms they're going to find, the more events they're going to find in that space. So it's all about just practicing and thinking outside of the box and being creative. Give them that space in order to be able to do it. Now, real sources dream about Boolean search strings and data mining, and they do. It's a kind of person who's going to wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning and say, I didn't add that into my search string, or maybe I should have tried looking here, or actually, what if I restructure that? Do you think it will bring me different results? So it's those people who are almost obsessive about making sure that they find the best talent. And just remember, as a final reminder on this, for any organization, for any clients out there, just one thing that I want to highlight from my experience of working as a talent sourcer is that it doesn't matter if you've got the best sourcing and recruitment teams. It boils down to your employer brand being really, really attractive. So here you've got your recruiters, your talent acquisition professionals, your sources working really hard to bring the best talent to your organization. But if those people are turning around and saying, I don't want to work for that company, then you have a problem. So just bear in mind that a recruiter, a sourcer can do what they can, but at the end of the day, this is a bigger picture where marketing, top level management, stakeholders need to get involved to understand the importance of having a really good employer brand. So that's it for me on this topic. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope I've managed to add value to you and given you some good ideas. I thank you for your time. Please feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. It's probably the easiest place for you to chat and connect with me. Also scan my QR code. We'll show you some other places that we can connect. So I thank you for your time. I look forward to hearing from you. I always love getting feedback from what I've said. And hopefully I'll see you on a training course soon. Stay well.